Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 7th episode of the Idle Park Talk Show. Today, we have a very good friend of the show who's a CPA. She's an entrepreneur, and she's the former Miss Cameroon United Nations 2012. She has an interest in fashion and modeling. So, everybody, please welcome Nadine Manka.
Hi.
Hello, Nadine. Welcome.
Thank you.
It was quite a drive to come to the studio. Did you get your visa?
A very long drive. I had my passport stamped at the border and I had to take a COVID test.
all those formalities to come visit us. So we really appreciated that you were able to
The pleasure is mine.
make it to the studio today for this episode.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's dive into it. So, at what age do you know that you were going to be, or that you wanted to be a model?
So funny. This is something that I knew. Will I say I knew? I was joking, or maybe I prophesied at the age of 15.
Yeah.
At the age of 15, and it just came out randomly.
Right.
I was granting an interview to a newspaper, one of the local newspapers back in Cameroon,
Right.
after I was proclaimed the best ordinary level accounting student for General Certificate of Education. So I was getting a lot of calls to give interviews. And, in such interviews, they always ask you, what do you want to become in future?
Right.
So I said, I responded to one of the interviewers that I wanted to become an auditor who models on weekends.
Right.
And I don't even think I even knew what the job description of an auditor was.
Yeah.
I said that because I just loved the word auditor. And in my mind, I just felt like it's probably going to be somebody that people fear. And when they come around, people will be scared. And I liked that
Authority.
The sound of it.
I liked that
Right.
authority.
Yeah.
And then the model part was because of watching a lot of America's Next Top Model and Tyra Banks growing up. I used to literally sleep on this show. They used to show it on E! Entertainment, and we had that channel back home.
Yeah.
Everyone in my house.
At least you guys had cables back when you were
Yeah.
growing up. We did not. I don't know if you had cables.
We used to watch that channel 247,
Right.
and I would sleep on everything Tyra Banks. I love the way she talked. I love the way she walked. I love the way she posed. I would just imitate everything that she was doing. So by that age, it was like it had just become a part of me. Yeah. So, and at the same time, I felt like an auditor cannot be a model because these are like two demanding careers.
Yeah.
So I said an auditor who models on weekends.
So kind of interesting to think that at 15 you already kind of thought, okay, I would work as an auditor during the week, and then on my spare time on the weekends, then I go.
You already planned for a busy life.
So you're already getting yourself ready for a really busy
life. Interesting.
Yeah, I was really getting and for the auditor part, it's a huge thanks to my dad, because he's one of those old generation people that is very forward thinking.
Right.
From the age of 9, he told me, I want you to become an accountant.
Right.
So I didn't really have much of. Maybe if I had to choose, I'll choose a doctor because I love the white coat and the thing on the
stethoscope.
neck. Yes, I love that.
Yeah.
If I had to choose, I'll probably choose a doctor.
Yeah.
But my dad said, no. Accounting is the future. I want you to become an accountant. So
was he an accountant himself?
No, he's a professor.
Okay.
An academician.
Yeah.
So he said he wanted me to become an
accountant.
accountant.
He's foreseen the future.
He was counting the monies before counting his eggs before they were hatched in terms of the money.
A decision that my mom was so angry with, because being an accountant, from studying accounting from the age of 9 meant I couldn't go to a Lady of Lots or Seka
because they don't offer.
Because they didn't offer that.
Right.
Only schools like technical schools like Repacol could offer that, and Repacol was not a brand name. And so my mom was like, over my dead body, my first child will not go to a school that is not a brand name. And my dad was like, what do you know?
I know.
But yeah, it paid off.
Yeah, it kind of worked out, right?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Perfect. And do you remember the very first steps you took? I mean, after realizing at 15 when you gave those interviews, did you remember the very first steps you took to get to that path?
To be really honest, I said that, but I didn't even know how that was going to come to fruition.
Yeah.
I had no idea. But this is what happened to me. I was so tall.
Right.
throughout my secondary school days, so tall that my classmates used to mock me, the guys. They'll tell me that nobody's ever gonna marry you because you're too tall, and no
Yeah.
man really wants to marry a woman that
It's taller than him.
is taller than them.
Yeah.
So that thing, at some point, it started getting me depressed.
Right.
I became so ashamed of my height. I couldn't wear high heels, but I loved high heels.
Yeah.
I couldn't wear it because was
It
going
makes
to
you
make
taller.
me taller.
And then
You
it
walked
makes it a
into
lot
one, and I had to
And
look
every
at
time I
you.
tried to wear high heels and I stepped out, people would be like, even my male friends that were just friends, they'll be like,
Would
no,
say,
no,
"Hey,
please
go."
don't walk by me.
I know.
You're trying to make people
Intimidate
see me like,
you, yeah.
too short. So it really affected my self-esteem
Yeah.
so much that when I went to the university at the age of 18, I never used to socialize
Oh.
because of that. I did not even have a boyfriend. I didn't date.
Yeah.
So I felt like I was so ugly and I could no longer pursue the
Modeling.
modeling career.
Yeah.
But one day after school, after class, I was walking home and some guy on campus stopped me and he said, I've never seen you on campus and I'm always here. He was a photographer. I said, and I'm always here and I've never seen you.
Right.
I said, I don't know you too. I've never seen you. He said, you're so beautiful. I said, you don't mean it. He said, I'm serious.
Yeah.
You're so beautiful. You should be a model. I said, nobody has ever said that to me
Right.
before. He said, this is my card. Call me on Saturdays. I have a modeling agency. I would like to train you. I
Interesting.
thought this guy was joking.
Wow.
But I gave him that call and I went there. And when I went there, he just took me to a runway and started teaching me how to walk,
Wow.
how to catwalk, how
Yeah.
to walk on high heels.
Yeah.
And my life was never the same from that day.
Wow.
Yeah.
I regained my confidence.
Yeah.
And even with the height, I never stopped wearing high heels.
Yeah.
And then I started encouraging tall girls like myself
Yeah.
Do the same,
to
right?
do the same.
Wow.
Like, embrace your height. It is your identity. It's who you are. Don't let anybody intimidate you.
Right.
That you're so tall.
It's like it's surprising where you grew up. Where I grew up, we envied the tall boys and the tall girls.
But I don't know
everybody wanted
many
to be
guys
that tall.
who want a wife or
No,
girlfriend.
no, I'm not saying wanting a wife or I mean
Did
finding
you-
someone tall and really feeling like maybe I should have been that tall.
that
right?
tall, yeah.
It wasn't something that we kind of bashed or.
No.
I used to lock myself in the room and cry because even my uncles, my mother's friends used to tell me, Maflo, that's how they call her, these your children are so tall. Nobody will want to marry them. Then my mother will say, her husband will be so rich and they won't have to walk on foot. So they will not even know that she's tall.
So where did you get the gene, the height from?
Both
Mom or
parents are
dad?
tall.
Oh, both of them are
Yeah,
tall,
both of
right?
them are
So,
tall. Yeah.
Interesting.
So my younger sister is even taller than I am.
Yeah.
And so she was also very much down from the same
comments and
from
Yeah.
the same
stereotypes and
comment.
all that, right?
So when I started doing modeling and learning to walk on high heels,
Right.
I never ever wore low heels again. And then I started teaching her
Yeah.
and making her embrace her height.
Yeah.
And she too regained her confidence.
Yeah.
Right.
So me going into modeling and doing the Miss Cameroon contest, it was first of all to say, oh, you see that girl that you guys were saying she was
Right.
so tall and so ugly. This is her. She has embraced
See me
who
now.
she is. See me now. I'm using this height for
I
a
think-
positive thing.
Right.
People were probably just looking at the height and thinking about marriage, which is what most uncles and aunts
I
think
know,
when they
right?
see a
Yeah.
child, right?
Yeah.
Such a shallow mentality.
Yeah,
There's
which
a lot
is-
more you can do with it.
Yeah, height, right? Not just marriage.
You did
Interesting.
use it. Interestingly, yeah.
So you can see how like a simple conversation with the photographer changed your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually it takes just one, and that's how it has been for every aspect of my life. It has always been just the impact of one person.
One person, right?
Yeah, it has
And
always
you just
been just
set the
impact.
ball rolling, and you opens you up to
Yeah.
lots of things.
He took me out of a place of feeling I was never going to fit in.
Yeah.
I was never going to be found desirable by man. And as a woman, if your confidence is not there, you
Yeah.
completely
You
lose
lo- you're-
yourself.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, no matter what it is, if you carry whatever you are with confidence,
Yeah.
You do better.
It's going to be a game changer.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, your dad here had was grooming you for a profession in accounting. When did he know that you were looking at maybe not abandoning the accounting direction, but you were looking at some other path for yourself, modeling? How did he feel about that?
Yeah, when I was contesting for the pageant, it required money because we had to stay in the camp for 2 weeks, and they asked us to pay a registration fee of 25,000. I was only a university student. Where was I going to get 25,000 from? So I composed a very long letter to my dad. Dear Dad,
we didn't have messages then.
I want to do this pageant, and if I win it, this is what's gonna happen. I'm going to start an NGO. I'm going to sponsor a lot of orphans. And he saw it and he was like, wow, this is amazing. So and he went to Western Union and sent me that 25,000. Yes.
So you kind of put in a lot of thought on how you wanted to make that announcement to him, right?
Yeah. But my mom wasn't for it. My mom, African mothers, no. That thing is prostitution. Why will you go and do it? My dad is a very forward thinking man.
Yeah.
And my dad was like, think out of the box. I know she went to school to study accounting, but this could be the game changer for her.
Right.
And actually it was. I didn't come to Canada to study accounting. I came to Canada on a scholarship, 100% scholarship, to do community development leadership because of the work I was doing back home from the role as Miss Cameroon United Nations, working with women in various communities, sending them to school. That is what eventually brought me to Canada. It wasn't the accounting.
Wasn't the book.
No, it wasn't the book. So we really have to be open to exploiting our talent. Whatever path your child is going, just encourage the child. Don't try to copy it. My mom was like, because of what society would think. I'm an elder in church. What would they think seeing my daughter wearing a bikini? But that pageant, we didn't even really have to wear bikinis that. It was strictly humanitarian focus. It was, what can you do if we give you this title? What will you do to change the community? How will you help? And that is what I liked the most about it, because the contestants had to come up with projects and present to the jury that, okay, if I get this title, this is what I'm going to do. And mine had to do with working with women and education, which ended up going further than I thought it was going to go.
But Ghana, would you agree that parents these days have our parents have their mentality has changed a little bit in terms of supporting their kids when they decide to do some extracurricular stuff as opposed to just studying?
Oh no, I totally agree with that, because a lot has changed. There's social media that has helped a lot. People are seeing what people can do with their height, with other talents they have, right? Growing up, it was only academics that was pushed to children, right? If you're not going to school, you're considered wayward, you're considered a loser, and that kind of thing. But now it's changed, and people are exploring other things. That people enjoy being photographers, people enjoy being filmmakers, right?
Could you imagine telling your dad
that you want to be a photographer?
You wanted to be a musician.
Are you kidding me? that wouldn't have gone down well.
That I had in those days, he would have supported me. But the disclaimer, first of all, I was a very bright student. Remember, I was the best accounting student. Ordinary level, advanced level. So he trusted me. He knew that even if I do this, my education wouldn't suffer. So all he said was, as long as you're passing in school, I really don't have
which is a good advice. Yeah. Can you imagine telling your dad you wanted to be a soccer player?
My dad? Can you imagine seeing my dad see me play football?
This is just to say there's been a lot of advancement in the way people think, and a lot of improvement, but also a lot of disadvantages too. Okay.
So no real, apart from your mom, no real resistance from anyone else?
No real resistance from anyone else. I remember at one time, like after the pageant, I used to go on runways, fashion designers in Cameroon. And at that time, my sister had graduated from high school and she had joined me in the university. And she was quite tall too. So one time I said, oh, come with me. The designers will like you. They'll like your height. You can get on the runway with us. My mom said, over my dead body, I've lost one child. I won't lost two. Can you imagine?
I know. The way she framed it, lost.
She said,
that affects your confidence.
I've lost one child to that craziness. I will lost two.
Another one.
You can't take your sister, no.
How does your mom feel? Like, how did she feel when you guys, got
when
in
you
it?
became successful? At least
my mom is one of the people that is extremely proud of me right now.
Exactly.
She's one of the people, and sometimes she jokes about it. She said, "Is this modeling that I was discouraging this child not to do?" And see where it's brought her. It's the accounting could not bring me this far. Well, I'm a chartered accountant right now because I was determined to continue on that path, like the 15-year-old Nadine that said,
exactly.
But accounting did not bring me this
there,
far.
Right.
I wanted to do a master's in accounting abroad with all the good results,
Right.
being Cameroon's best student 2 times in a row.
Yeah.
I
But that
couldn't
was
get the
challenging,
visa.
right?
No, I didn't get the visa. I tried to do a master's in the UK. They denied the visa for me 2 times.
Yeah.
Okay, I switched to the US. They denied the visa for me 4 times. 4 good times. They kept saying no,
Yeah.
no, 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 no. Okay, I gave up. I continued to do my
modeling,
modeling,
right.
doing my humanitarian works, and boom,
Yeah, that worked out.
a university in Canada is offering me a full-time scholarship,
right?
everything paid to come
Yeah,
and study
yeah. That's not easy
community
to come by.
development leadership. This thing it happened within 1 week. I found myself in Canada.
Wow.
So
Yeah, sometimes I think you need to you I don't know if it's like you need to prove to your parents sometimes, or you just need to follow your dreams
Yeah.
and try to.
I think what I think is the parents need to see that you're putting in an effort. You've put thought to it. You're
Yeah.
putting the effort, and you're not just wasting your time.
Your
Right?
time,
Like you
right.
have genuine interest, because these parents, it's not like they don't love you. They want the best for you, right? And in their mind, they're already figuring out what's best for my daughter. And then when you start to stray away from that, they are shocked too. And some of them struggle with handling that, right? But if they see that you're persistent and you find joy in this and you're ready to put in the hard work, I think they're going to support you in the long run.
sometimes it's what some of the parents that restrict their children from actually pursuing their gifts and talent. It's not just what they think, it's also what the society
What is society thinks, right?
what will people think?
Yeah,
Like,
I think
they
it's from,
send you
that's
to
why I say I think it's
school
from a
and you
place
want to
from
go and be a
fear,
musician.
right?
Yeah.
It's from a place of fear.
Yeah.
They think that this cannot provide a sustainable life for the children and all that. So it's coming out from a place of fear.
Good place, I think,
Yeah,
from a good place.
From a
generally
good a place of love, but that's also like has a mixture of fear in it, right? So if they see that there's prospect in it, I think they'll support. Because at the end of the day, every parent wants their child to be happy. How they go about it might be a little bit challenging.
But I kind of understand where the parents are coming from
Yeah.
though, because in the entertainment industry, how many people get in? How
And
many people
succeed,
make
right?
it?
Yeah,
The chance
yeah,
of
yeah,
success
right.
is
It's
sometimes
rare, yeah.
between 100 musicians, 2 become
to make it,
famous.
right.
And the rest
50
are-
girls who go in for a beauty pageant, 1 person gets crowned.
Yeah.
What are the chances that
Of
you're the
49,
one who
yeah.
gets crowned
Exactly.
out of the 50? So it's dicey. So the parents
Yeah.
are scared. They want you to take a secured and stable path.
Exactly.
Like, we know that if you go to school, you study to
There's
become
a
a medical
guarantee that
doctor,
you
you
can
put
do
in
this.
10
Yeah.
years,
You
you
will end up
graduate
being-
a medical doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where, but I went to school, I studied accounting, I graduated best in my class, but I couldn't secure a visa. So
Right.
God just really has different paths.
Yeah,
for
exactly,
different people.
Yeah,
So interesting.
that's nice. So I know you've mentioned that what I think is about modeling is mostly the bikinis and the almost naked. I'll put it that way. So what does it take to be a successful model? Is it just the looks? Is it the brains to that? What is it? What does it take?
Not every beauty queen even really
Is that
goes for
beautiful?
that to become a model.
Yeah.
Because when it comes to the world of pageantry, which
Yeah.
I think is a little bit different from the world of modeling.
Modeling.
I
Okay.
was in the world of pageantry. But I after that I did some runways,
Yeah.
I did commercial adverts.
Yeah. So
all of those
Can
things
you
come.
just
What's the
clarify what the difference is? Because
I don't know.
it's very obvious that I don't think I know exactly what the difference.
With modeling, you don't really have to win a beauty pageant. You've decided to
Oh.
take modeling as a profession.
Right.
So you're doing runways,
Yeah.
you're doing
Adverts
adverts
and
and
stuff
all
like
that.
that, yeah.
Okay.
But beauty pageant
It's a
comes
competition type.
It's a competition, but it comes with a humanitarian platform.
Right.
So they're giving someone a title and some sort of
A task.
platform and attention,
Yeah.
influence,
To- yeah.
some sort of influence to use it for a
promote
good
a cause, right.
Yeah, to
Yeah,
promote
okay.
a cause. So just like with anybody who gains fame in any other aspect of life, because you've won the pageant, you can have designers and companies reach out to you to
Right.
do adverts for them
Right.
and all that. And then
That would be
that can make you a
switching a little
model.
bit to
Yes.
modeling.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's not
Yeah.
it's not the
It's
same.
not the same thing.
It's not really
Yeah,
the
I think
same.
So there's like other extracurricular responsibilities to pageant, right?
Yeah,
Like
there's a lot more to a pageant. So
Than there is.
the girl who wins a pageant is not the most beautiful girl.
Right.
Yeah, not
No,
necessarily.
not
Not
necessarily the
necessarily.
most
Okay.
beautiful girl. It's a somewhat attractive girl
Yeah.
But
who
with the-
has a platform,
Yeah.
Right.
who has who has a plan, who has a focus, who has a heart for humanity, and a steady plan on how they want to achieve this.
Yeah.
So it kind of gives you the opportunity to probably find an interest and to promote that interest in a broader
platform.
And yours was girls' education. Is that what you focus on? Can you tell us a little bit about your experience with that?
Was girls' education, and my experience with this was at that time. I think things have evolved now.
Right.
A lot of people are seeing the importance of education for the girl child.
Right.
But back then, this was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
People still believe, especially in the villages and in the suburbs, that a girl's place is to get married and have kids.
Yeah.
So I used to go to a lot of those suburbs, meet with those young girls that you're 15, you're 18. Why are they sending you to marriage? I will talk with their parents, and most times they'll say, "Oh, we are sending her into marriage because it's gonna bring money to us." And I say, "But what is the alternative? If you send her to school, she can get a job and bring money." So, and they're like, "Oh, I don't have money to send her to school." I say, "Okay, what if I connect? I use my NGO, to sponsor these girls." And so I worked with an NGO, and we were able to send a lot of these girls to school. And another angle that we approached was girls who were into prostitution.
Getting them
out of prostitution. Some of them were there because they really, that was the only means to get money. It's not because they wanted to.
Right.
That was the only means to get money to take care of themselves. So what if I can step in and get an NGO to send you to school? Will you drop this life? 80% of them said yes, and they did.
Yeah.
So
interesting. That was some interesting things you did there. So was there any particular thing you're really proud of that you did in terms of projects that you look back and like, wow,
that you promoted?
Some of those girls that we sponsored, especially the ones who got out of the streets, out of prostitution, are now nurses in the US.
Wow.
Sometimes they reach out to me and they're like, "Thank you so much for what you did for me back then. How can I pay it forward? Can I donate so that we can continue this course and take more girls out of the street?" And so it's become just a part of me. I didn't just do it because I was a beauty queen back then.
Right.
It's something that is ongoing because those people are grateful and they're willing to pay it back. And if you think about it, being in the US, it's going to cost you $100 to send someone to school for a year. Right? So,
Interesting.
Okay. Wow. Any other projects that you're working on now that you're interested in now? Any causes that you're promoting these days?
Still the same cause.
Same cause, right?
Yeah, but recently I've been talking a lot about spousal abuse,
domestic violence,
and domestic violence.
Big thing these days,
it's really kind of a big thing these days. And I've been using the Clubhouse platform. We have a lot of women, both in Canada, back home, in abusive relationships, and they can't step out because of what the society will say. Oh, you're a woman, you're stepping out of this relationship, you want to be 30 and single. Or the society places a lot of burden on women to be the ones to hold the home down. But you are in this relationship, you're losing yourself. You're losing your identity. You're losing who you are, but you're still holding on because of what people would think about you. Like, women need to break out. They really need to break out from that mentality. If you're thinking about what people would think about you, what if you die in that situation?
Yeah, exactly.
And women have died.
And women have died
as a result of that. Right?
Yeah. So this domestic violence, spousal abuse issue, it needs more voice than it's getting, more attention. It happens even in ways that people will not acknowledge. And the thing is, you can go to prison for killing somebody if you actually take a gun and shoot the person. But how do you quantify destroying someone's self-esteem, identity? You've killed that person. Is a walking corpse.
Sometimes
it's worse
than death. That's true.
The person is walking on the street physically, but what is a human being without hope?
Right.
You're dead.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the law cannot
quantify.
Cannot do anything to the perpetrator because it's not quantified.
Yeah.
But it's real, and we really need to bring enlightenment to it.
Yeah.
And I think our community has suffered a lot.
There's been
in the
quite a
past
few
couple of
people.
months. I think I've read a couple of stories where Cameroonians, or maybe Africans general, Nigerians, a lot of them,
Yeah.
where partners have died.
And what I've
as a result
seen,
of
interestingly, I know there's when we talk about spousal violence, it's usually male and female. But I've seen a lot of men who have been abused by women too.
Yeah.
I think that's a topic we're gonna have you on again to have that conversation if you're so willing.
Yeah, I was on a radio station. I was a guest on a radio show back in Nigeria,
Right.
in Canada, but they
Back
had
in
to
Nigeria,
call me
yeah, right.
yesterday to talk about this because it's a very prevalent issue even in Nigeria.
Right.
You know how the African culture places value on marriage
Yeah.
and on women.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like sometimes it's easy for men to walk out of that situation because the society is not going to blame them a lot. There's no stigma.
But
There's no stigma when a man divorces.
Even in cases where men leave, the woman is still the one to blame. They blame most of the time they blame the woman for everything, irrespective of who is at fault. If you want to
I don't know. 20, 30 years ago, I think that would be the case. But right now, there's a lot of women living in marriages. Right now, women are responsible for about 80% of divorce. So we can't say women are not living right now. So
it's because of the enlightenment that is going on right now. That some of them are saying, okay, I don't care what
the society thinks,
my mental
right?
health comes first.
Yeah.
And rightfully so, that's what it should be.
Yeah.
It's not like we are propagating divorce, but you're better divorced than dead.
And
right.
I think nowadays, I think there are laws and that protect people who, I don't want to be specific about women, but laws that protect victims of violence, any kind.
Yeah.
And so if there are laws protecting you, then you definitely want to use those laws, right?
Exactly.
As opposed to if there were no laws and you had no recourse.
This is just to say, like, there's been a lot of improvement. I know you can see pick 1-2 cases, and there's still some that we can do better, right? But there's been a lot of improvements, I would say, in the last
there's a lot of improvement.
decades or so.
There's a lot of improvement.
Yeah. But we're going to get you back for this conversation, okay?
Okay. I don't know how to transition, but I wanted to talk a little bit about beauty.
Okay.
And how society portrays beauty. It's usually thin, it's tall. Nowadays, it's straight face. There are certain criteria that society uses to quantify who is beautiful.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I think beauty is authenticity.
Yeah.
Beauty is authenticity. If you just see someone and they are in their true authentic self,
Right.
they are beautiful. I don't know. The wrong perception of what beauty is what is pushing a lot of ladies to plastic surgeons.
Right.
And every lady on social media is beginning to look the same these days. The same size of boobs, the same size of behind, the same size of lips. Everyone is beginning to look the same. So now, where's the uniqueness? Where's the authenticity?
Okay.
For me, beauty is authenticity, and I
Right.
believe we can stick to that.
Mm-hmm.
When I look you and in my mind, I know that some things are fake.
Yeah.
You're no longer beautiful.
Yeah.
But that is when you look at it when you're objective,
Right.
when you look at beauty. For a young man who is looking for a girlfriend, for example,
They don't care.
they are not looking for the authentic self.
Exactly.
They are looking for what.
And I think the definition.
You rightly said a girlfriend.
Oh,
Now,
why?
when it
Even
comes to the person you want to have your kids with,
Right.
you want to see the genetics of this person.
Right.
You want to know if your child's nose is going to be big, or your child's breast will be big, or your child's boob behind is going to be
Or the
big.
head.
But now, what you're seeing is not how do you even know
Right.
what the child is going to come out
So
looking like?
let's talk a little bit about authenticity. What do you mean by that?
Authenticity is your true authentic self.
What does that mean?
Can you expatiate a
Your
little bit?
natural self.
Natural
who
self.
you are.
So
yes.
no weaves, no lipstick, no eyebrow making.
Those things are enhancers.
Well,
like, how can you say no weaves, no lipsticks? You can't. Lipsticks are good. If your lips are getting dry, you need to put on lipstick.
Well,
You
the
need
lipstick,
to do your
for the
hair.
makeup.
You could use Vaseline.
You can use Vaseline.
I'm joking. No,
Come on.
You can use Vaseline.
That's a joke.
I'm talking about medically altering something.
Yeah.
A weave does not alter.
I guess that's the point I'm trying to get to. Like, what's the spectrum of being authentic? Is it from the way you walk out from your shower to up to the point where you have medically enhanced body. Where do you draw the line of being authentic?
But I don't know if authenticity is it's more of the physical looks. For me, that would not be authentic.
Oh, for me, that's one of it.
For me, it's more mannerism, behaviors.
It's all of it.
It's everything.
all of
It's your
it.
physical.
It encompasses all
your
of that, right?
mannerism, your behavior, your view of life,
Respect,
everything.
values, all of that, right?
Respect,
Oh, yeah.
values,
Yeah.
including who you are physically,
Yeah.
your genuine, authentic self.
Yeah.
That's beauty. God created you like that
Yeah.
for a reason.
Yeah.
You are beautiful. Now I feel sometimes I feel like when for some people, when their guardian angel comes around to protect them, the guardian angel will not recognize them. Like, oh, this is not the person God sent me to protect. I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to be here.
Wrong address. Interesting. Yeah.
I think it's quite common these days. The surgeries and the injections and the Botox and all that.
Do you feel like people have gotten lazy, like to get to the real work, and they're looking for quick fixes?
Yeah, people have gotten lazy because you could work out in the gym and have a
have
good
it
body.
for that.
Yeah, and I just want to say it's for those women who are doing it. Kudos to you.
Yeah.
I mean, if it enhances your self confidence, it makes you feel good about yourself. Fine.
Yeah.
Great. For men who like it, go for that.
Right.
But there are some men who still
I'll
want
tell you, men don't
authentic
care.
women.
Men don't care that much. Well, I lost my train of thought there. Is there anybody who say that's not beautiful?
No,
Because when you start
everybody's
saying
beautiful.
authentic, that
Is
means
everybody
everybody's
beautiful?
Everybody is beautiful in their authentic self.
Is it? I think beauty.
Is that being politically correct?
Is it subjective?
It's in the eyes of the beholder. Everybody is beautiful, and sometimes you might meet someone and you're like, oh, I'm not attracted to this person. They don't look good.
But
Then you
attracted to someone.
interact with them 1 time, 2 times,
become
3
attracted.
times, and then you begin to see their beauty.
Yeah.
Would you be
So
seeing a beauty, or will you be seeing something else?
That's no longer, I don't know. Anyway, I think this boils down to men and women look at beauty differently. For women like to be very subjective, and they try to broaden the scope. Every woman thinks every woman is beautiful. That's what I think.
Every woman is beautiful.
Yeah,
but
that's
let me
what
get from a man's perspective. What do you think?
I don't think every woman is beautiful the same way.
Okay. And you don't think
And you
a
have to-
woman can become more beautiful as you interact with her?
I don't think that's beauty.
It will not be beauty. It will be something.
It's behavior, it's manners.
But I thought behavior, mannerism, all that encompassing.
You see, but that is the point I was.
Men are strictly physical when they look at beauty.
Not all men, man.
Mostly.
Most men are. But
Most
again,
men.
that is why I earlier mentioned that beauty and the other aspects cannot be categorized in this
Together, right?
in the same pot. Because like you say, you look at someone, they are not necessarily physically attracted to you, and then you interact with them. Then at that
That's
point,
not beauty anymore.
It's the interaction and their mannerism and their values that you fall in love with.
And
not
then
necessarily
they
because they are
become
beautiful.
in your eyes.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
No.
They become beautiful
No,
in your eyes.
No, they're just nice. They're not beautiful. They're just nice. They're not beautiful.
It's interesting to get a man's perspective.
So I think
but
that's one of
honestly, for me, every woman is beautiful.
Yeah, a woman,
but
right?
Like, but
That is the
some women
politic-
are more attractive than
I think
others.
that's the
now we're going to. That's the politically correct statement.
correct statement.
No, some women are more attractive.
So
than others.
what's the difference between beauty and attraction?
What's it?
Attractiveness.
It's not the same thing?
No, attractiveness is something that you can develop based on how you carry yourself,
Right.
how you dress,
Yeah.
how you do your hair,
Yeah.
how you do your makeup. You may not be naturally beautiful in the physical
Yeah.
form, but the way you carry yourself, the way you dress, the way you talk, someone can just spot you in the crowd and
And
be
so
like,
you're attractive.
damn, that
So
girl
can
is
you be attractive and not beautiful?
Yeah.
You can be attractive and not beautiful. Interesting. Oh boy.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to talk a little bit about your transition from modeling into professional life. You already alluded to this in some form that you were pretty smart, right? So was that an easy transition, or in another way was it like a sad thing that the modeling days came to an end?
No, it wasn't a sad thing. It was actually a choice. It was
Right.
actually
Yeah.
a choice for me. I realize it gets to a point where it gets so demanding and you really have to choose.
Yeah.
And sometimes you need laser focus.
Right.
to go higher, to go fast.
Yeah.
You need laser focus to go fast. So for me, I spoke about the impact of one.
Yeah.
I applied for a job, got called for an interview, and I got the job.
Yeah.
I was on internship then. That was in 2015. So 2 weeks into doing this job, I got a call to come for New York Fashion Week.
Yeah.
From watching Tyra Banks as a kid, this was a dream come true. A dream. I was like,
That
New
would have been
York
a perfect
yeah,
opportunity to
perfect
realize
opportunity
the height
to
of
just
that
become
career, right?
the Tyra Banks that I always
That-
wanted. I was gonna kill it on the runway, but I had to be in New York for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I had just started this job, and I know that I went through sweat and blood to
get
get
that
that
job.
job,
Yeah.
and I needed that job to graduate. And you know how life as an immigrant in this country can be sometimes. So I sat that day in my office and I was trying to rehearse my speech of how I was going to go to the management of a
And
company that
explain
I've just
how-
been employed for
I
2
know.
weeks, and tell them I have to be away for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm not sick, to go do some runway show in
Right.
New York. And I thought long and hard about it. And I said, if I go for this runway show in New York and I come back, probably lose this job, go back through the whole process of job searching, probably another runway show in New York will come again only next year.
Right.
How do I survive?
Yeah.
So I said, this is the point of decision. I need
Yeah.
to choose. Do I want to pursue modeling, or
Yeah.
do I want to be an accountant?
Yeah.
And then I said, an accountant makes sense at this point. I think I should retire from modeling right
Yeah.
now. I've made my name, it's enough.
Right.
So I declined that.
Yeah.
And that was it for me. I just continued on this path.
Yeah.
So I guess what you made a choice was you made a choice
The sustainable
to be
choice
stable.
Yeah.
and sustainable.
Yeah, I made a choice to be
Was
stable.
was it a difficult decision?
It was a difficult decision because there is this
Like, did you
oxytocin
pray and
about
fast?
about being on in the spotlight.
You love it.
You want to constantly
You wanna
be
be,
relevant.
yeah.
Yeah.
You want to always be doing activities that you're getting photographed, because that's the life.
It's an addiction.
It's an addiction.
You could be
You like
addicted
it.
to
You
it,
like the comments. You
Yeah.
like the attention.
Yeah.
And then you have to stay relevant to continue getting the gigs. And New York Fashion Week was gonna be a big
Gig, yeah.
point.
But
of
it could have just been
relevancy.
the one, and
But it should
and
have been just a
probably
one-off
could-
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It probably, you were just, it's like rolling a dice. It would
Yeah.
have worked, it wouldn't
There
have
could
worked,
be
right?
you could have done that and had an opportunity to go maybe to
Or not
Paris or
have
to
one.
somewhere else, or not have an opportunity at all.
That's a probability,
Yeah.
or not have an opportunity at all.
yeah.
It's a probability. So I
Security.
went in for the stability that my mom was talking about way
yeah.
back then.
So
yeah.
you satisfied mom and dad.
Yeah.
Finally satisfied mom.
Yeah, and I also thought, okay, how long is the modeling career going to take me? I
Yeah.
want to be a family woman. I want to have kids and
Yeah.
get married. So will I be modeling and doing that?
Yeah.
Which one can I sustain alongside a family and raising my kids?
Yeah.
I can better sustain being an accountant
Yeah,
doing
than
that. So I
Than
thought I weighed all of these
the
options.
options.
Then I was like, another thing to the modeling career, it has a lot of age factor.
Right.
I was
At a certain age.
24 at that time. So I think it's something that
That's like
25
retirement
you should be
age,
Retiring. If
retire-
you really want to be the Naomi Campbell.
Yeah.
It's in fact, it's only when you've made a name like Tyra Banks or Naomi Campbell that you probably be doing this thing to 50.
Right.
For
And even with that, they're not doing the
They're
same
not doing
thing
the
they were
same
doing
thing.
at
they're
20.
not doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So I think they even retired runway by
Yeah.
25 or
Right,
so.
yeah.
So I was like, I'm probably 1 year to retirement in this thing. So
I
there's
know.
no point.
Because by 25, 26, that's retirement age for runways.
But
Yeah.
if you take even their generation of models, how many of them do you remember? It's mostly her, because she was
a top.
She was
Yeah.
probably
Oh,
one of
that
the
lady was
best.
beautiful. I had a crush on her.
I don't
She
hear
was
a lot
one of the
about
best.
Tyra
No.
anymore.
No.
She just hosts shows.
Maybe
like-
That's
Yeah.
what she does these
Yeah.
days, right?
Usually when they have children, they just...
I don't know.
That's
I
it.
don't know.
Grow
So
down.
I had to choose
Yeah.
something
that-
sustainable. Yeah.
Perfect.
So you have other things going on. You have a business you're running.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Pastime.
Pastime.
Well, yeah. It's not. Well, I say
You
pastime.
drop
is-
one and you picked up another, right?
Well,
You dropped modeling and you
see, again, this was one of those childhood dreams. I used to say back then, the dream was to own a cosmetic line.
Yeah.
Because when Tyra Banks was doing all of those things, I used to see lip gloss. I was like, one day I need to
Right.
also own a
Yeah.
cosmetic line. Then as I was doing market feasibility, I'm like, okay, cosmetic, a lot of people doing cosmetic. So I was like, I was either going to do a cosmetic line, or I love clothes, I love pictures, and I still have this model in me. What can I do with all of this talent, being an accountant? So I decided to do a blend. Okay, I dress corporate all the time, going to the office. And I'm a model, even though I no longer go on the runway.
Right.
So why can't I just use the model me and model the corporate outfits I go to at work? So that's what I sell. I sell corporate outfits for ladies like myself who are a blend
the
of
corporate ladies.
Yeah, no, what I blend of runway and corporate.
Oh boy, so now everybody can buy your clothes? Is that what you're saying?
If you've been on the runway and now you find yourself in a corporate setting, you still want to look.
Why are you discriminating against the other girls who have never been on the runway?
You could feel like you were.
I'm giving you an idea now. Include those girls
I'm
too.
not discriminating against them, but for me,
that's just a joke.
My office is a virtual runway.
Yeah.
Every day I dress up in the morning to go to work.
Yeah.
When we used to still go to the office,
Yeah.
in my mind, I feel like this is like and that's how the transition was easy for me.
Yeah.
The office is gonna be my runway.
Yeah.
I'll still wear all of those outfits and just model in the office. Like when I wake up and go to the kitchen to drink water,
you're modeling. That's your runway.
That's my runway.
So you're turning heads in the office. Is that what you're trying to say?
That all the time.
And you seem to be very intentional about that.
Because that's who I am.
Is that addiction that we talked about?
That's the addiction we talked about.
Is that addiction from attention?
Yeah. Have you gotten in trouble for that?
Any what?
Have you gotten in trouble for that?
Oh no! All I get is, oh my God, you look amazing. Compliments. Where did you get your suit? Or where did you get your trousers? Or where did you get your shoes? And that's why I was like, okay, I need to start selling these. Because if the whole essence of doing a runway is for people to like the outfit.
Right.
And now they were liking the outfit, and I'll tell them, go to H&M, go to Zara. Okay, no, come to me.
Right.
Yes, I'll give you the outfit. Right. You pay me.
Interesting. How's that been going?
Well, for a startup business, you know how it is. It's difficult, but
it takes time.
It's picking up.
It takes a little bit
Lovely.
of time. Why women? Why can't I
because
get it?
Why only certain women too? And even in the women, it's a small group of women. But I've got
women. I have all sizes.
Oh, yeah.
And women because well, this clothing brand represents me. It's my story.
Yeah.
It's my journey from being a model to becoming an accountant, and I'm a woman.
Yeah.
So I cannot tell that story in a man's body.
That's true.
Yeah. So.
Anyway, I love it. I love the website. It was good.
What drives you? What
drives me?
What makes you who you are now?
That's an interesting question. When I think about it, in the past, usually when when asked what drives me, I would say achievement, the next level. But I've attained so many next levels that right now I'm just at a place of peace and joy.
Isn't there always a next level? No matter what?
There's always a next level, and it never stops. It can be an addiction too, where your main focus, and there's nothing wrong with achievement, but enjoying the process while you're getting the achievement and not making it. Because have you noticed when you achieve something you've been wanting for so long, you're like, now what?
That's it. So I'm really just enjoying the journey right now.
Yeah, you're like, now what?
All of those things that I wanted as a child, I have it.
Right.
So the business may not be as big right now, but started
it's work in progress, right?
It's work in progress. So it's just enjoying the journey while being happy and just living life.
What advice would you give your younger self? So look back at advise yourself at 15 or maybe 18
or maybe 10.
No, 10 too young.
You know one mistake I made when I was that age?
No.
I was so much in a hurry to achieve.
Yeah.
I was so much in a hurry to achieve. I'll tell that girl to take it slowly.
Yeah.
I'm not saying don't be ambitious because I was so much in a hurry to achieve that I failed to enjoy the moment.
Right.
I was living in
what we said.
In what I wanted to come.
Yeah.
That I had no enjoyment of the moment.
Exactly.
Was it did you want to prove yourself to people who felt like those friends or
all those boys
neighbors,
who were
all
telling
those
you
people
you're
who
making
felt
them
course,
feel
there
short.
was-
was
that.
that a need? Did that push you too much into
Yes.
well, not
Yes.
overachieving, but wanting to achieve?
Yes, there was
Really
that
quick.
part. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was also that part.
Interesting.
Plus, there was coming from the kind of family I come from, a very middle class family. I was determined to be the game changer.
Right.
Yeah, so that really pushed me, and I think most firstborns are like me.
Yes, I can.
Tell me, we were just
I can
having this
attest.
conversation yesterday.
I can attest.
We're
to
just
that,
having
right?
this conversation yesterday about firstborn. The pressure that's on firstborn is different, and not to say there's no pressure on second or third or lastborns, but
It's a different
firstborns
kind of that
seem to carry a kind of responsibility that is hard. Like you, unless you talk to another firstborn, you cannot understand. And it starts from the young age where you start saying, how are you behaving like that? Why can't you not show your junior sister or junior brother, right? Like I was telling Axon this day, I almost feel like I missed my childhood because I had to grow up quickly to take care of my mentally, not just physically, but mentally to take care of your junior brother.
Boom,
Did you?
that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Did you feel
I
that?
grew up quickly,
Yeah.
so I missed the moment.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I'm not just this is actually
I'm
real.
sure-
This is not confirmation bias. This is real confirmation.
No,
right?
I'm sure many people would agree with you, Kana,
Yeah.
that firstborns there's some pressure
There
on
is
them
pressure.
to
There's pressure, which is good in a way, and there's also mistakes, which comes to being the first, being raised. Your parents are still experimenting and they don't know, and they make a lot of mistakes with the firstborn. Usually they can correct it with the second and
And the
third,
third, right.
but the firstborn is usually, in many cases, a trailblazer, but in many cases, too, the first one to experience a mistake that the others don't want to fall into.
I always tell my younger ones they had it easy. Somebody
Yeah.
already paved the way. If I had someone ahead of me
Would have been
to
different.
pave the way, my goodness. I
We
don't
should
know
have a
where
show
I'll
of
be
all
right now.
firstborns. We should host a show of firstborns. So we're coming to the end. What is next for Nadine Manka?
What's next for me?
Yeah.
Everything I really wanted to do, I have done.
Right. So you can die now.
No. Well, yeah, honestly, if God calls me home now, I'm satisfied.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really satisfied. I always had one goal that in my life, I want to leave everybody that ever met me better than they met me.
Yeah.
I want to be a positive impact in your life in one way or the other.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter to me whether the romantic relationship didn't work out.
Yeah.
If I was able to impact your life positively, that was a win
You
for
have a
me.
romantic relationship with everybody you come across?
No, I'm talking about like in the context of a relationship.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And for friends too.
Yeah.
So when I say it doesn't, for the romantic relationship where it doesn't work out, most times you cut off contact.
That's
But
it.
like, yeah, but for friends, they'll always be
Have
your
an
friend. So you
impact,
have
yeah.
that opportunity
Right.
to continue to impact their life, and they impact their own life in one way or the other.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not like I'm completely where I want to be, but at least I've started. I've at least initiated the beginning of that company, or got that CPA, or
Yeah.
enjoyed the modeling days and
Yeah.
retired.
Right.
So What more?
I mean, it just sounds weird to say I'm retired. Coming from a young lady like you, retired. I bet it's modeling, so I guess that works for modeling. Yeah. Good. So, Mike and Nadine, we really appreciate you taking time off to come to this conversation. I hope you had a good time. Did you have fun?
this was an amazing conversation.
We
Looking
had-
back at those childhood days.
It brought back some good memories, didn't
Yeah.
it?
good memories, I hope.
Yeah.
So for our viewers out there, we hope you enjoyed the conversation. Please like, subscribe, and hit the notification button so you can be the first to receive any video that we put out there. So we hope you enjoyed this one, and we hope you can stick around for the next one. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.